Long ago, in a beautiful green forest, there lived a young lion named Krish. He was brave, curious, and full of energy. His father, King Leo, was the mighty ruler of the animal kingdom. He had a golden mane that shone in the sunlight and eyes that could see danger before it even came. Life in the kingdom was peaceful and happy. The elephants played their trumpets, monkeys swung from vines, birds sang cheerful songs, and rabbits hopped about without a care in the world. Every morning, Krish chased butterflies and rode in the soft grass while his father watched proudly from his high rock throne. But one morning, everything changed. Krish was playing outside when he felt something cold on his nose. Plink! A drop of rain. Then another. Just a little shower, he said, shaking his fur. But soon, the wind began to blow hard. Whoosh! Far away, a deep rumbling echoed through the valley. Boom, boom, boom. Krish ran to his father. "What's that sound, father?" he asked, his eyes wide. King Leo sniffed the air and frowned. "That's no thunder," he said. "The rivers are rising. A great flood is coming." A flood? Krish didn't understand. Rain was normal. But father looked worried. He climbed up on his rock and roared so loudly that every animal in the forest heard him. "Friends! The waters are coming. We must move to higher ground now." All around, animals began to hurry. Elephants helped carry smaller animals. Deer ran to gather their families. Birds flew high, warning others. But the rain fell harder and harder, turning into thick sheets that soaked everyone. Krish clung to his father's leg, shaking. "I'm scared, father." King Leo nuzzled his son gently. "Be brave, Krish. I have a plan for you." He led Krish through the storm to a hidden spot under the cliffs. Behind thick vines was an old iron cage, strong and safe, built long ago by clever beavers for times of danger. "Get inside, my son," King Leo said. "This will keep you safe from the flood." "But father, what about you and everyone else?" Krish cried. "I will help them," his father said, his eyes full of love. "Stay here, no matter what. I'll come back for you when the storm is over." Before Krish could say more, the door closed with a loud clang. Then King Leo ran back into the storm to help the others. The sky grew black, and the rain poured down like a waterfall. Soon the river burst its banks, and huge waves of muddy water rushed through the forest, carrying branches, rocks, and even trees. Inside the cage, Krish trembled as water splashed through the bars and rose around his paws. The ground shook as the flood smashed everything in its path. He saw elephants trumpeting in fear, monkeys swinging wildly, and birds screaming as the wind tore them away. Then he saw his father, King Leo, swimming through the flood, pushing a deer to safety. But then, a giant wave hit. Krish shouted, "Father!" But the wave swallowed everything. And then, silence. Krish was all alone. The cage was shaking, but it held strong. He cried out again and again, "Father! Please come back." The night was cold and endless. The floodwater rose up to his belly. He shivered, hungry and scared. When morning came, the storm had stopped. The sun peeked out through the clouds, and the water slowly went down, leaving mud, fallen trees, and broken nests everywhere. Krish's heart hurt. His home was gone. His friends were gone. Maybe even his father. But Krish was not ready to give up. He looked at the cage door. It was locked with a rusty latch. "I can get out," Krish said to himself. First, he tried to bang it open with his head. Bang! Ow! He tried again. Bang! Ouch! That didn't work. Then he had an idea. His claws were sharp, maybe he could pick at the lock. He reached through the bars and started scratching and twisting. It was hard, slow work, but he didn't stop. Hours passed. His paws ached. But then, click. The lock opened. The door swung wide. Krish was free. He stepped out carefully. The ground was muddy and slippery. All around, the forest looked like a battlefield. Trees were broken, nests were gone, and the smell of wet earth filled the air. Krish called out, "Hello. Anyone there?" No answer. He searched for food and found some squashed berries and a few fish left in puddles. He was tired and hungry, but he kept going. Days passed as Krish walked far and wide, calling for his father. "Father. It's me, Krish." Still no reply. One day, Krish heard a soft sound, splash. He stopped. "Who's there?" A little rabbit peeked from behind a bush. "Don't hurt me," she cried. Krish smiled kindly. "I won't." "What's your name?" "I'm Hopper," she said. "I hid in a burrow high on the hill. The flood almost got me." Krish was happy to see another survivor. Together they kept searching. Soon, they found more friends: Swing, a playful monkey who had held onto a vine through the storm; Hoot, a wise old owl who had flown high above the flood; and Trunk, a baby elephant who had floated on a safety log. Together, Krish and his new friends began to rebuild their lives. The forest was still muddy and broken, but there was hope now. Each day, they searched for more survivors, gathering food and helping one another. Krish became their leader, just like his father had been. "Let's make a new home," Krish said one morning. "Somewhere safe and strong, where no flood can reach us again." Everyone agreed. They worked together. Trunk the baby elephant used his strength to move fallen logs, Swing the monkey climbed high to tie vines, Hoot the owl guided them with his wisdom, and Hopper the rabbit found berries and roots to eat. Krish helped them all, encouraging his friends when they were tired. Slowly, their new home began to take shape on a hill overlooking the valley. At night, they sat around a small fire and shared stories. Sometimes Krish looked out over the dark forest and whispered, "Father, I hope you're out there somewhere." His heart ached, but deep inside, he remembered his father's last words, "Be brave, Krish." Weeks passed. The forest began to heal. Fresh leaves sprouted, flowers bloomed again, and the river calmed into a gentle stream. One day, while Krish was out exploring near the riverbank, he saw something: footprints. Big ones. Lion footprints. Krish's heart leapt. "Could it be?" he whispered. He followed the tracks through the wet grass, across the stones, and into a grove of tall trees. Then, ahead in the sunlight, he saw a familiar golden mane glimmering. "Father!" Krish cried. King Leo turned around, his fur muddy and his eyes tired, but filled with pride. "Krish! My son!" They ran to each other, and Krish buried his face in his father's mane. "I thought I'd lost you," Krish sobbed. King Leo smiled gently. "I was swept far away by the flood, but I never stopped searching. I knew my brave Krish would survive." They walked together back to the new forest camp, where the animals cheered and danced when they saw their king again. The kingdom was reunited, and peace returned to the land. That evening, as the sun set behind the hills, King Leo stood beside his son on the high rock. "You have done well, Krish," he said proudly. "You led our friends, protected them, and rebuilt what was lost. One day, you will be a great king."